Stop right there and listen carefully, because the pennies in your pocket right now could secretly be worth a fortune. Millions of people in the United States are spending Lincoln wheat pennies every single day without even looking at the date, and that mistake could cost them thousands of dollars. Welcome to USA Coin Reveal, where ordinary coins turn into hidden treasure and silent fortune. Today, we're exposing 4 dangerous pennies you must never spend. A 1928D wheat penny worth over $15,000, a 1918 wheat penny reaching more than $29,000, a 1920 wheat penny climbing past $37,000, and a shocking 1951 wheat penny that can hit $42,000 or more in today's collector market. These coins look normal, but collectors are quietly fighting for them in auctions. Check your pocket now, because if you have one of these coins, you might be holding a life-changing treasure. Stay until the end, because these pennies change everything. Picture a simple wheat penny sitting in a jar of change. The color is warm copper. The surface looks aged but natural, and most people wouldn't give it a second look. But the moment a collector sees the date, 1928, with a small D mint mark, the reaction changes immediately. This coin came from the Denver Mint, and it was struck during a time when the American economy looked strong, but was quietly approaching the Great Depression. Coins moved quickly through the economy in those years. Pennies were used constantly in stores, banks, and railroads, which means most of them were worn down or lost forever. The design itself is one of the most iconic in U.S. history. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln, calm and thoughtful, the first real historical figure ever placed on a circulating American coin. On the back, the famous wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, symbolizing American strength and agricultural roots. The coin is mostly copper, about 95% copper, with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving it a warm tone that ages beautifully. It weighs around 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of about 1.5 millimeters. Finding a 1928D penny today in almost fine condition with natural surfaces is extremely difficult because these coins circulated heavily for decades. Collectors pay close attention to the original toning and the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks. If someone cleaned the coin, the value drops dramatically, which is why the rule is simple: never clean the coin. When original coins like this appear at auction, the bidding can become intense but quiet. Serious collectors compete carefully, knowing the supply keeps shrinking. A 1928D Lincoln wheat penny in almost fine condition can reach around $15,000 plus or more in the collector market. That is serious money hiding in a simple copper penny, so remember, do not spend this coin. Now, the next coin moves us further back into history and into an even more dramatic moment for America. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was produced during the final year of World War I. The country was under enormous pressure. Factories were running constantly. Workers were earning wages connected to the war effort, and coins were moving rapidly through the economy. Because of that heavy circulation, most 1918 pennies were worn down quickly and disappeared from collectible condition. This coin carries the same Lincoln portrait on the front and wheat ears on the back, but the surfaces tell the real story. Many surviving pieces show deep brown or almost black natural toning from more than a century of aging. To a collector, the dark surface can actually be a good sign. It often means the coin was never cleaned or polished. Original surfaces are everything in this hobby, and once a coin is cleaned, much of its value disappears. Physically, the coin still carries the same copper composition, the same 3.11 gram weight, the same diameter and thickness as other wheat pennies, but survival in attractive condition is rare. Collectors study the details carefully. Lincoln's hair, the date, the edges, and the wheat stalks on the reverse. If those details remain visible in almost fine condition, the coin becomes extremely desirable. When examples like this appear in auctions, experienced buyers recognize the rarity immediately. The bidding starts slowly, then climbs as collectors compete quietly for ownership. Right now, a 1,918 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in almost fine condition can reach around $29,000 plus or more in today's market. That's hidden wealth in a single penny that many people would spend without even checking the date. So again, do not spend this coin and never attempt to clean it. Now, the third coin on this list becomes even more interesting because it represents a moment when the country was trying to recover from war and economic change. The 1,920 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark came from the Philadelphia Mint during a period when the United States was shifting from wartime production into a new economic reality. Pennies were being produced quickly to keep up with daily transactions, and most of them went straight into circulation. Because they were used so heavily, only a small number survive today with strong detail and original surfaces. The coin again carries Lincoln's famous portrait and the wheat ear reverse design. The copper composition gives it a rich color that often turns into a deep, original brown layer after decades of aging. Collectors actually prefer that antique brown tone because it proves the coin has remained untouched and authentic. A wheat penny like this still weighs about 3.11 grams, measures just over 19 millimeters across, and feels like a small but powerful piece of American history in the palm of your hand. What makes this coin special is the combination of age, survival, and condition. Most 1,920 pennies were worn smooth over time, but when one appears with visible wheat details and a strong date in almost fine condition, collectors take notice. Auctions for coins like this often become competitive because many collectors prefer to hold them long-term rather than sell. Today, a 1,920 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in almost fine condition with original brown surfaces can reach around $37,000 plus or more in the collector market. That is serious, life-changing money for a coin many people would overlook as ordinary change. And the warning stays the same. Do not spend this coin and never clean it, because original toning is what collectors trust. Now we come to the final coin in this list, and it might surprise many people because it comes from a much later year. The 1,951 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark was produced during the booming American economy of the early Cold War era. Businesses were expanding, the population was growing, and coins were circulating everywhere. Pennies were used constantly in stores, transportation, and vending machines. Because of that heavy use, most 1,951 pennies were scratched, worn down, or lost over time. But when one survives with a deep, original black or dark brown surface and strong details, collectors become extremely interested. The coin still carries the classic Lincoln portrait on the front and the wheat ear reverse that defined American coinage for decades. Its copper composition, 3.11 gram weight, and familiar size remain the same, but the condition and originality are what truly matter. Coins like this often develop dramatic antique surfaces that collectors love because they show natural aging. That originality proves the coin was never polished or cleaned. Cleaning destroys value instantly, which is why experienced collectors always say the same thing. Leave the coin exactly as it is. When a well-preserved 1951 wheat penny appears in the market, the demand can be surprisingly strong. Collectors recognize that fewer high-quality examples survive every year. Many of them disappear into private collections where they are held for decades. Right now, a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in almost fine condition with original dark surfaces, can reach around $42,000 plus or more in the collector market. That's an astonishing value for a single copper penny that could easily be mistaken for ordinary pocket change. And that's the real message behind this entire video. 4 pennies, each one looking simple, each one quietly carrying hidden wealth and silent fortune. These coins are still hiding in circulation, sitting in old jars, and passing through hands every day. The difference between losing them and discovering them is one simple habit. Always check your coins carefully. So before you spend another penny, take a moment and look at the date. Because the next coin you find might not just be pocket change. It might be a treasure hiding in plain sight.